Yes, Michael. How are things stand as you all get ready to return to practice and get ready for the Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah, it looks good. Got a lot of positive energy around the building. Obviously, not getting the outcome that we wanted this past Sunday. We know that we want to go out there and make sure we put in all the effort we can this week to make sure we come out and get the results that we want this week. So.
How do you manage with the receivers as they, are battling with some injuries and you gotta, go down the whole roster there with them with Hodge finishing the game, Casey playing some too?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've had reps with all those guys. Obviously last year with me being on scout team, bringing all those guys back. The newest guy we got is Seals. He was out there, but it's been good. It's been good. I feel like everybody is ready. That's the thing that you love about this wide receiver room. It's like all those guys can make the plays, and all those guys are ready, and all those guys prepare as if they have to play come game day. So whenever somebody else comes in the game, I feel comfortable and confident in what they're going to do because they show it each and every day.
Last year you would have prepared for a Brian Flores defense when you guys played the Vikings last year. What makes him such a challenge to go against as a quarterback?
He's just very versatile. And even whenever it's not the exotic stuff that he brings, I feel like they do a great job with their different coverages, being able to switch things up, based on certain formations and stuff or looks and motions and stuff that they do with their too high, their shell defense, and how they can change all those things up. But I mean, last year you saw they heated us up a lot last year, and but we just got to make sure we come out ready for anything that they can do because he is a good coach and he will be ready to call come game day, and we got to be ready to respond.
Did you play a lot of the pistol in college?
Yes, I did.
What do you like about it?
I don't know. I like everything. It don't matter if I'm in pistol underneath. That's just some game plan stuff. Whatever Z-Rod want us to do. I can't really pinpoint something I like about it or don't like about it. To be honest, it's just what I've been in. My whole life. I actually started out under the center when I first started playing quarterback. But when I got to college, it was all mainly pistol. But it's
comfortable.
Yeah, either or.
I only ask because I think you guys were the number one team week one playing under the pistol.
Yeah.
42.9%. Is that like a game plan thing? Is that something that might change in week two?
I mean, it's always game plan thing. As far as it changing, I don't know. I mean, today is first day. Still got to practice still. So, obviously just doing whatever coach tell us, basically.
Speaking of your college days, does this inspire memories of the 2023 championship game against McCarthy?
No, it does not. I don't. It does not. It don't. I'm just here to win a football game.
What kind of is just in general like your relationship with him? Because you're the same draft class too. I mean, do you have one with him or anything like that?
Yeah, man. JJ, he a cool person. Good guy off the field as well. Obviously on the field, you see what he can do. But I train with him as well. Pre-draft, all that prep. I was with him every day. So getting to know him a little bit. He's a genuine guy, and a guy that can make football plays. So.
What was your impression of the way that he played on Monday?
He showed heart. Even whenever it might not have been pretty. Whenever early on in the game, he might didn't play how he wanted to, but he continued to keep fighting, keep bouncing back, and was able to help them win that game towards the end of the game. So it was good to see that.
Is there any aspect of what you guys did Sunday on offense that leaves you feeling like confident, like we got this down, like we know we have this kind of in our bag?
Yeah, I mean, it's always things you take away from it, and it's not always going to be perfect. It's definitely a lot of things that we want to clean up. Whenever we saw the film, just being more physical at the point of attack. In all phases of the offense. I'm not just saying up front, but the receivers, the running backs, and me as well. In whatever ways I can be to help us out. I feel like the first game we weren't able to get the run game going. We got two of the best backs in the league, so that's something that we definitely always want to make sure that we have, and being able to go out there and display that. But this past week we didn't do the best at that, but I know the guys will be determined and ready for this week and the coming up weeks.
How different is Casey Washington now versus the guy that you spent, the first half of last season with in scouting?
He's a lot sharper. Last year, like he was sharp. No, don't take that away. I'm not saying he wasn't sharp, but like he's a guy that from day one, like he was. I think I said it before. Like he was always texting me, trying to do walkthroughs, and just always trying to make sure that he was locked into the playbook. And to see from like last year, not just him, but literally everybody. From being in the system for 1 year and going into your second year, it's definitely a big difference. As far as making plays, he's always been the same person. He's been consistent, strong hands, a guy that can run, make plays down the field, and he can route you up as well. So he definitely has all the intangibles, and I'm just excited for him and his career. So.
Have you seen his confidence take a jump this year?
Absolutely. He got a lot of confidence right now. That's what we love to see.
Casey was telling us last week that he feels like the game is slowing down for him a little bit. How much have you noticed that just in the second year for him?
Yeah, I'll just say understanding of the game, like just understanding concepts. When you're on the back side versus the front side, if you're the first read or the fourth read, just understanding that. I feel like he's got a understanding of that, and I actually thought that he did know that, and I was talking to him one day last year during the season, and like scout team, I was like, "Hey, you're my fourth read here. I don't need you to be full speed right here and getting open right now." And he was like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah." So he was like, "Man, I appreciate that, bro. I didn't know that, but so like just small stuff like that, him just understanding where he's at in the progression, where he's at on the field, knowing how to, be open at the right time and not too early."
So he gets that now.
Yeah, he get it. He get it.
Michael, what are those end of game situations like for you, just out there on the field, like leading the touchdown drive at the end, leading the field goal attempt drive? What's it like, and with the benefit of a couple days in film, when you look back, what do you see out of yourself?
For me, it's like I want to win a football game, and I'm gonna do whatever I can in my power to help us win that game. Obviously, I'm not perfect, so I don't go out there and trying to be perfect. If I make a bad play, it happens to the best of us. But obviously that's not what we want. So I just go out there just free, just not thinking too much, and just go out there, be confident, and just trusting in my preparation, that I put in each and every day. And, I feel like whenever you are trusting in your preparation, they always say preparation brings confidence. So it allows me to be confident in those situations.
Does the way you guys ended that game, and it was really 3 straight possible scoring drives to end the game, how much does that give you confidence going forward into this game and into the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean a lot. Just seeing the guys, always ready to respond. Whenever they went up, just being able to respond and come back with a score of our own, and that's just showing everybody that this team we're gonna fight all the way into the end, and the guys they want to win real bad, and I do too. So we're gonna definitely get some wins on our column. So
There's been so much talk this preseason about not playing in the preseason. Did you feel like at all, like the first game kind of felt like preseason, just getting on the same page, or the first drive, and then after that you were good, or not at all?
It felt like football. I'll say I felt the soreness the next day. That was about it. I'm good now, though, so we're good.
Like, you've played in a lot of big environments. You were in this building last year when Kirk was playing. This is one of the tougher places to play on the road.
Right.
Is there something you do? I know your team prepares for it, but is there anything you do specifically to get yourself ready for a hostile environment you're going to go?
Just make sure I stay locked in to the details. That's the biggest thing. Whenever you go into an environment like that, we can't beat ourselves. Obviously, we got the crowd against us, and we got to be able to go in there and, execute at a high level. I feel like, and for me, I feel like that starts with me. Obviously, as the guy that's calling the play to the guys in the huddle, I make sure that we get out of the huddle on time, make sure we're good on the play card, make sure everybody's lined up and stuff like that. So, for me, it's just make sure I'm confident in my preparation. I prepare the best I can so that whatever situation presents itself to us, we're ready for it. And like I said, we can't have no self-inflicted wounds, especially going into an environment like this. So.
Between Sunday and today, you've admitted a few times now that you're not perfect. Did it take a while in your career to accept that, or how long until you kind of took that extra weight of perfection off your shoulders?
It's still on me, I'm not gonna lie. I just say it to help myself. I do. I want to be. I know I'm not, but I want to be, and I'm gonna do everything I can to get as close as I can to that. But I do feel like I do put some pressure on myself. I feel like my fiance helped me a lot getting through that. You know, she always, is on me about, just being so hard on myself and stuff like that. But I feel it every day. But it come with it. That's what comes with this position. That's what comes with, a small town kid, making it to this level. I've been through a lot to get to this spot. So sometimes I do expect a lot out of myself. It's probably not as healthy, but I know whenever I step inside them lines, my mind is clear and I'm ready to go play football.
How much emphasis has been just on the run game this week and improving the run game in time for Sunday night?
Yeah, it's always been about the run game. I feel like, obviously, like I said, mentioning Bijan and Tyler, with those guys on our team, we gotta have a big time run game because they bring that factor, and so we definitely want to make sure that we pick up on that, and that's every week. We feel like, obviously, I feel like our run opens up our passes and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, we're gonna do whatever it takes to win.
Obviously, the offensive line had some, little issues here and there. Is there anything that you can do to kind of help in the moment to kind of make sure they're all together? Do you say anything to them or try to make their lives easier?
Just keep going. Just always encouraging the guys, not just offensive line, the receivers as well, everybody on the team, just keep going. Obviously last week, like I said, we didn't want that outcome, but, we did show a lot of great things, and it's a lot of things that we want to clean up. So just letting the guys know that we're never out of the fight. We're never out of the fight.
Going back to the big game aspect that Arch was asking about earlier, Sunday, obviously on Sunday Night Football is a big matchup. How much do you welcome a primetime game this early in the season?
It's exciting. It's big time. It's NFL football. We're ready for it. I'm excited for it. I think my second game last year was a primetime game, and it's what we here for. It's what we came. That's what we put in all the work for. All our lives to get and be able to play in big time moments like this. So it's another day.
When y'all hit a big swing pass like that, what else does that open up in the offense?
Just the down the field stuff. You feel like once a defense feel like they might got to take away a deep threat for the quarterback, and the quarterback is just being disciplined, taking his checkdowns, taking the flats and stuff like that. And we got guys like Bijan and Tyler that can take it 50 yards. It's big time, and they're gonna have to respect it at some point. If not, I'm gonna just keep throwing it to them.
Anything else?
Thank you.
All right.